Yeah, good morning, Vineel.
Hi, sir. Good morning, Andy.
So I'll make you host, right?
Uh, Actually, Karthikeya used to drive Andy. Make him as the host, maybe.
Who is going to pay? I mean, you are going to what called to open the PD, I mean PPT, right?
Usually, I share my screen, Andy.
No, that
Anything is fine.
also, yeah,
You
you
can
have
make me as host. No worries.
because you have to. I mean, only host can share the screen.
Ah, I see. Okay. Then make me host, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll make you host.
yeah. So,
Vinil, recording, let's start at 10 whenever we start the actual session, right? So,
do you want me to start, Vishwanath, or
no,
are
no,
you?
let's start at 10. Let's give it. I mean, we have only 10 people. Huh? Let's actually give
Sure,
another 10 minutes or so, right? I was just
sure,
saying
sure.
that I was just saying the recording we can start when the actual session starts, right?
Yeah,
And the next few minutes, I think if anyone has doubts or I mean whatever you want to discuss, not even doubts also, right? Anything that you want, anything that in top of your mind about
yeah,
job,
yeah,
whatever that comes to your mind, just feel
yeah,
free.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So should we stop recording, Vishwanath?
Yeah, let's stop recording. We'll start recording in maybe after a few minutes when we start
Okay.
that.
You already recorded?
Now it started.
Sure. Yeah. I think we have enough people, like 26 people. So let's get started in the interest of time. Hopefully you guys can see my screen. If not, let me know. Um, okay. This is the final session in this series. Again, I didn't know what to name it, but this session is mostly gonna talk about some miscellaneous tools, which I wanted to cover. So that's what we are going to see. So let's jump into the agenda straight away. So here is the basic agenda. So I have not many topics today. Mainly, I would like to cover a couple of interesting, very useful tools. Actually, the first one is a tool, but the second one is most of to what Venkatesh sir actually asked me. Like this kind of addresses his question. So let me jump into the first one. It's the name of the tool itself is called Everything. So again, unfortunately, this tool is Windows only. If you are using Linux, I'm sorry. But this is one tool which I usually install after formatting my machine. So how it looks like is this. So it's basically a file searching tool. Usually, I shouldn't say this, but uh, Windows start menu search is like almost unusable, at least these days. The problem is like a lot of new stuff gets integrated, and whenever you want to search for a file, it becomes so hard, and most of the times you won't be even able to locate your file. So just for context, this is a free tool that you can download from this location, and to be honest with you, have been using this almost since 2007, believe me or not. So I'll give you a demo of how this tool works and how it enhances your workflow day in and day out, how much productive you become in locating files and then using them, using the files that you want to open. Okay, so let me straight away jump into the tool itself. So you have to basically, there is this website called Void Tools. So that's the website where you can get this tool called Everything. The name of the tool is called Everything. And then what you have to do is basically download the installer, and it typically follows the next installation. Okay. And the file is very tiny, almost like 2 MB or so. So it's very, very, very tiny. Now, once you install it, what it happens is, if you look at the right corner of my screen, there is this magnifying glass, orange magnifying glass. So if you click that, it pops up. Okay. Now, whenever you install this tool for the first time, all you have to do is go to tools and then go to its options, and then give it a shortcut, whichever shortcut you feel like. I tend to use this Windows Shift Z. What it does is it runs in the background. Okay. Now, if I want to launch that application, all I have to do is Windows Shift Z. So wherever you be, I mean, in which application you might be, if you do Windows Shift Z, essentially it will open this tool. Now, the beauty about this tool is it's so fast that the moment I type for files, like I'm looking for songs, right? So I'm typing star.mp3. It almost in a split second, it gave me the results, like what are all the songs that are there in my machine and where they are actually coming from. And also you can see the size and whatnot. Okay, it's that fast. Now you can locate files. Basically, I'm just trying to locate a file called kernel32.dll. It's a system file. So you can see it's, again, as I keep typing the characters, it's actually finding the files for me. So gone are those days where you have to hit start button and then you type for a file name, and then it takes a while for you to give the file name and file and things like that. So this amazing tool, and then I'll talk about how it can be used. So the straightaway use case is basically you can look at the file of where it is actually coming from, right? So if you look at kernel32.dll, it's coming from multiple places. Okay, so the good thing is these search results, each one of them, if you right click them, you get your familiar Windows context menu. Okay, if you look at this bottom part, this is exactly what you're familiar with. When you go to Explorer and when you right click, you get the same menu. Now on top of that, it adds these 3 options. You can either open the file, open the program, or you can copy the full path. So you can copy this full path, and then maybe you can paste it. What I generally do is, let's say I want to attach this to a email or something like that. So when I'm composing my email, I click the browse button for the attachments, and then I paste this path in that browse, the open dialog. I don't even go to this file, and then I don't even drag it. So I open everything, I type the name, I get the path, I put it in the open dialog. So it's so much faster. So let me show you how I do that. Let's say I want to look for some text file, right? So I have this, I copy this path, and then let's say I want to open this file in Sublime. Okay, that's it. I paste it and then hit enter. The file gets opened. So you don't go to this, you don't open Explorer, you double click folder after folder and things like that. So this is how you can do it. The other thing is, I was just searching for some songs, right? So if you see here, there are a bunch of songs which are coming from multiple locations. Now, if I want to look for only from specific directory, right? So all I have to do is give a space, and the moment you do a backslash, you see it starts highlighting the path here. Okay, now what I'm trying to do is I want to locate all the songs coming from my some random folder. In this case, it's HDD0. So what I did is I'm just looking for files just coming from that particular folder. Now within that, let's say I want to search for all English songs. So all I have to do is basically give a space and then /eng, which will again filter down all the songs from my English collection. Okay, so this is the fastest way. So let's say I want to open this location, folder location. So what I do is right click, and then if you click this, then the song gets, the file gets open in your whatever music player you have. If not, if you can also click open path, which will directly open my location of the folder. So I don't have to navigate all the way down to user Vineel, all that. So it's the fastest way to get to the thing. Now, the other additional thing is you can also, since it also exposes the same context menu that you get when you right click a file. So if I go here and if I right click, the menu that I'm getting, which has rename, delete, copy, whatnot, you get the same menu here. So the advantage is with this, what I can do is I can simply press my familiar shortcuts, which is if I want to rename a file, I can just press F2 and I can start renaming the file here. I don't even have to go to the Explorer and then rename the file. So you can pretty much do all the operations that you can do. Suppose if I want to delete all the, let's say in here, I believe I have some thumbnails. I don't know whether, yeah, there are these thumbnails which are which will be created when you play the song. So these are basically some junk files. So all I can do is I'm basically trying to delete all of them. I can just select them here, and then you can either right click and then shift delete, which will basically delete all the files. Gone. So it's that simple. Now, if you were to do this by navigating into each of the folder and then deleting each of the files, it will be super time consuming. Okay, so again, mainly this is how I tend to use this. The other, if you are interested, so go to this help and then click this search syntax. It has like extensive options. I don't use all of these options myself, but one option which is really useful is, let me show you, just keeping this aside. So earlier when I typed kernel32.dll, if I don't know whether you observed it, it also matched this file, and also it matched this file, because it doesn't exactly match the file name. It finds the file even if it contains the string that you searched for. Okay, so sometimes you don't want that. You want the exact file name. So in those scenarios, what we do is we make use of this operator, which is called whole file name. So basically both of them are same. Yeah, you just have to do fwn:. So if I prefix this with fwn:, now it exactly matches the file which you are looking for. And again, the obvious shortcuts of filtering it down to the required folder still applies. So you can basically drill down to whatever results you want. Yeah, I think this again, one other amazing thing about this is as I create new files, I don't need to index it anyway. So as I create new files, let's say I want to name this as kernel32.dll. Okay. Now, when I do this, immediately if I search for kernel32.dll, you would see here the file. It already shows the result of the file I just created. So it doesn't even yeah, there is no such thing as indexing or anything like that. It doesn't even take time. It immediately shows it. And also, if I delete that, look what happens. Let me stop this presentation for a second. Yeah. So if I delete this file, watch what happens to the results. It almost immediately gets updated. It's that fast. So give it a shot. I'm sure once you get used to it, especially if after setting that Windows Shift Z shortcut, it will be super useful. And again, that should be good enough. Again, it doesn't search your USB pen drives or anything like that. even without that, it's a good good tool to use. Yeah, this is one thing. Let me jump back to the presentation again. So I think we covered this. There is one other tool which I didn't include in the presentation, but I am gonna talk about it anyway. So there is this when you're working, especially from the command line, there is this tool called a ripgrep. I don't know whether you heard about it. It's basically a newer version of grep. Grep is the command that you use to essentially search text within files. So let's say I'm in uh, some folder, right? I want to look for something. Usually I want to search for, let's say, I don't know, vimlib. So what it did is basically it searched for the word vimlib in all the files within the subdirectory and gave me which files has this word and what is the line number. It's basically grep. If you're already familiar with grep, it's exactly same. It's just that it's uh, much faster compared to grep, and it does have some good defaults. So you don't have to specify which directory or anything like that. You just give the word and then you just use the tool. Now you can download this from when you type ripgrep, you get this GitHub location and you just go to the releases, and then you can download. If you are Windows, you can download Windows version. If not, whichever platform you are using, you can use this. And by the way, this tool is available for all platforms, Mac, Windows, Linux. And after that, let me also cover, again, this is not a free tool, but I tend to use this quite often for creating screenshots and presentations, especially. So I have been using this tool for almost like 15 years now, which the name of the tool is called FS Fast on Capture, usually called FS Capture. So again, like I said, this is not a free tool. It costs you a bit. It's not too much, but there are many free screen captures as well. But somehow this has the right amount of what do you say, mixer of features which will really help you. So let's say I want to the familiar. This captures the entire window, and this captures just the region of screen. And mostly these are the two things we generally use. And this one is interesting because this helps you capture a scrolling window. So many times you have a web page and you want to capture the entire web page, which has scroll bar in it. So you can press this to, when you press this, is basically go all the way. Let me show you quickly. It's to, yeah, this web page is quite big. So let me go back to the search results. Yeah. So if I click this, and then look at the red rectangle. So when I click this, essentially it will automatically scroll down the web page and then take the screenshot of the entire web page, and then it will give me. So again, be careful because unfortunately this page is like a single page application. So as you scroll, the page keeps on going. That's why I had to press escape. So when you press escape, it will stop taking the picture. Now, I got the entire screenshot of that results. Now the beauty is basically, let me. So look at this. So let's say I have some sensitive information which I want to hide. I don't want to show it in my presentation, right? So basically I can just select this and there is this blur, B for blur. So you can select that, it will pixelate it. Okay. And you want to focus, you want to really want to focus that this is the portion of the picture that I want you to focus on. So what you can do is you can select that and then you can click this spotlight. So what that does is essentially it will basically blurs out, puts on light on just that particular region. Now, I don't know, most of these might be also available in other free tools as well, but somehow this this tool does it so well that once you get used to it, it's very hard to change. Now you can capture multiple screenshots by just clicking this plus button and then copy things from one tab to another so that you can get a combined image. And then there are a couple of these options like effects and stuff like that. You can do all sorts of things. And the most important thing is you can do this draw. So when you draw, you can annotate the screenshot. So I generally tend to use these quite a lot. So let's say you want to explain that this is the first step and this is the second step and this is the third step, right? So you just click this number 1 and then you just keep pressing it. It will automatically basically put the numbers. If you really want, you can renumber it, but this is so much useful by itself. And you can obviously draw some call outs and whatnot. I have changed it to black, but yeah. So the usual, the familiar annotating stuff are there. So this is also really helpful. You can highlight stuff, like I just want to highlight these things. So yeah, so get comfortable with using some form of a screenshot capturing tool, because once you get into a corporate environment, it's not about how you write emails, it's more about how you present it. So you need to have these smart skills as well to enhance your communication. So I have been using this tool for quite a long time, so it really helped me. So, and let's say and also there is this border hedge, which is so much fancy. So basically, if I click this, what it does is it creates this tone effect on the image, which is very cool. So yeah, and you can also combine multiple screenshots into a PDF. If you're preparing some tutorial, that can be used. And the other thing is, quite often many screen capturing tools quite miss on one thing, which is how do I even capture the context menus, right? Like when I right click, it gets open, but the moment I click this, it disappears, right? So for this, there is this timer option. So you just have to set a 5 seconds timer maybe, and then you just click this, but you get the timer here. It counts down and then you click it. Okay, so this is how I'll be able to capture the menus as well. So this thing is super useful to explain exactly how you can do these sorts of things. Again, you have this color picker. If you guys are doing some web development, then this is also very helpful. Yeah, this is another tool which I wanted to cover. I don't know about you, but if you're using Windows, make sure to use this terminal. We have not using this old, not old, I think. There used to be an old CMD, which is not being used anymore. So if I select this, maybe you can see that. Earlier, we used to have this very bad terminal, command prompt essentially. Now Microsoft has basically deprecating this in the favor of this new terminal. For the obvious reasons, basically this has this multi-tabbed interface, so it's much easier for you to work, and also it has like a lot more features compared to the old CMD. Again, you can get this from, I believe, from Microsoft Store. If you have the store, every Windows has this store. You can go there and you can get it. And last but not least, there is this whiteboard option. Probably some of you are already familiar with. Maybe if not, just try to give it this as well a shot, because this is basically a whiteboard software. You can again get it from the Microsoft Store. You can essentially start whenever you are doing screen sharing, you can use this. I think that's about it. Let me jump back to the presentation. So the other thing that I wanted to show you guys, especially to people who are actually getting wanted to learn something, but again they do not know what resources to follow, right? Like you can definitely as a good citizen, basically you go to Google and then you search for things, but then you get like thousands of results and you don't know what to do. Now this is where I feel, especially in these days, you need some sort of a moderation. You need some sort of a curation. There used to be a video by Steve Jobs where he says when the interviewer asks him because of this social media and normal digital media, the interviewer asks him like, aren't newspapers are basically are going out of business? So for that he responds very eloquently, which is what he says is, even with the digital media exploding every day, what he says is he encourages more of editorial. So because there are a lot more information nowadays, we need a lot more curated resources. We need some editorial, somebody who can say that this is really of good quality or good standard, right? So that's why we have Netflix. Since we have, even though we have YouTube and various other things, we have Netflix. The reason being, we have like very good curated collection. So for everything we these days, since there are like the information is exploding, look for resources which are curated. So for students, one such resource is called Awesome Lists. So it's basically a simple concept which was started by this guy. So what he did was he started collecting uh, amazing stuff that he found online into one place. Apparently, he used GitHub for that. That's how it became so popular. So what it does is, let me show you the web page. So it's called Awesome Lists. Uh, so for every topic that you pick, okay. So let's say I wanted to learn about some language, some Python, right? So you just click Python. Now what happens is the original Awesome List that I opened will take you to an awesome Python list. So if you look at the URL, it changed from the original guy's URL to awesome Python. So now you are in this awesome Python page where this guy basically collected all the best resources of Python. Okay, so you want to learn the language, or you want to use some library, you are doing some project. Now you don't know what library to use, right? So these are basically the most curated libraries that you can readily use. So you don't go to Google and search. You still can do it, but this is like best resources hand over to you by your mentor. Now let's walk me through some of the other sections which are really interesting. So I'm back to the original awesome list. It's called list. It's plural because this guy does not give you the actual pointers, but he gives you the pointers to the other awesome lists essentially. Okay, so let's say you want to do some AI ML, right? So what I did was I just clicked. You need some basically some uh, uh, basically you once you keep looking into this, you will know which section you need to go. So I want to go to learn something related to AI, right? So I believe it's in computer science. Let me check. Yeah, it's in computer science. So it says machine learning. So when I mouse over that link, look at the top bottom left side, it's actually pointing to somebody else's awesome list. So you go there, and then this guy has the curated list of all the stuff related to AI. Again, I'm not an expert, or I do not know much about AI, so I cannot say how good it is. But there are these kind of places where you can. This should be your first option whenever you wanted to learn or know something, some topic that you want to learn. right? Now let's look at some more topics here, because it's really useful that we actually recognize some of the topics listed here. Let's say you are learning about programming languages, you go here and then you can pick whatever language you want. And then there is this front-end development. If you are into web application and then you are into that web front-end technologies, React, Angular, or whatnot, right? You can click that particular awesome link, which will basically take you to the awesome Angular list. So it has got, again, all the curated collections by many people. Some of these people actually work for very big companies. So some of them are actually the creators of those libraries themselves. So you cannot get any authentic information than this. Now let me go back. So if you're into, let's say, Android development, if you're into iOS development, right, that's what is categorized as platforms. So you click platform, you go to iOS or you go to Android. So if I click iOS or if I click Android, again, you go to that specific awesome list, essentially. So here I'm opening Angular, I'm opening Apple iOS related awesome list, essentially. So again, if someone asks you to pay something to learn something, those days are gone. So basically, there are these people who are basically helping out each other to get up to the speed. This is so again, if you're learning about Linux, this is an amazing resource. You can just click this and then you can go learn it. If you're learning AWS, Amazon Web Services, you can click this. If you're learning about Windows, you can go here. If you're into, let's say, some IoT stuff, right? Those hardware platforms. So there is this here, you have Raspberry Pi. For learning about .NET, basically you will find everything about this thing, about what to learn and what not to. Hardware, if you go to hardware, you see Internet of Things. If you're into electronics, right, then you can actually go look at this. This is an amazing resource, by the way. So you have the good thing is they not only create links, but also they categorize them. So if you look at here, there are some curated courses which are again they're free, by the way. So none of these are actually paid. If you look at here, NPTEL videos, they're amazing, actually. So some Udemy courses, some openly available books or anything like that. I hope you got the gist of it. Like, just give it a shot. You will definitely get used to it. There are some, again, if by any chance, if you could not find, or if you cannot find a topic related to, something related to your own interested topic, what you can do is go to Google and then you can type, let's say, web designing awesome list. Just add the word awesome list. If you want, you can also add GitHub, because that's the one-stop source. So somebody has this awesome web design awesome list. Now this she actually works in a company, I think booking.com or somewhere. So she started curating all the resources for web designers. So Smashing Magazine is an amazing website where you can learn about web designing if you're not already familiar with. But again, like, there are these color pickers, there are these typography things. Font is always important when you're designing websites. So typography is super important. So there are this section about it, and there are some icons. So whenever you want to get some icons or create some icons, you have these resources. Yeah. You have Canva and you have all your design material here. So the point is basically just go to Google. Instead of randomly searching for the topic, use the word awesome list. That will basically enhance your results. Okay. And I think we are almost like halfway through the session. So this is where I wanted to jump into something more interesting. Okay. So let me have some water. So, so up until now, we have seen like many things related to technology, many things related to the tools, many things how we as an experienced people who are working in the industry do things, right? When I was preparing these slides and when I was actually giving you guys sessions, I got a couple of students who got connected to me. Through EdGroom. So what when I looked at their profiles and all, one thing which I noticed very peculiar is they have uh, they wanted to basically come up as in like somehow showcase what they achieved, and then how they want to get the land in their first job or things like that. Now that's when it struck me, it's not so useful when you basically keep talking about technology, keep talking about tools that we use. And then I realized it would be much better if I really spend some time on uh, uh, my career itself, like as an example, how I kind of landed and what mistakes I did and what I would have done better, right? So some of these lessons are learned over a period of time. So had I learned them like 10 years ago, I would be in a different on a different level or different position. But again, the point here is I want to give you a perspective of the career sort of a thing. So how do you create a good career? Now that you guys are in, all of you guys are in your BTech, which is almost like one of the most crucial times in your life. So if you do good in your BTech, essentially you will end up uh, uh, having very smooth life without any issues. So that's what I called it a surprise. It's not so surprise, but it's mostly like I wanted to present you like what you have to do, and what you have, how wisely you have to choose your resources and things like that. So without any further wasting of time, let me straight away jump into my own journey here. Okay, so let me go back all the way to 2007. So this is when I was in my BTech final year in Gayatri in IT. And then one fine day, I don't know whether you heard his name. He's our professor, NB Venkateshwarlu. So he's an amazing professor, and one day he called me to his office, and usually he don't does that. So I got scared and I went there, and then he asked me, "What are you going to do after your BTech?" By that time, towards the end of 2007, I had almost like we had our campus interviews done, and I happened to have almost like two offers in hand. One from Soliver and one from CSC. I don't know whether the first company exists today or not, but yeah, even the second company does not exist. So anyway, so I have like two offers in my hand, and then when he asked me that question, I was like anybody who has like two offers in hand, like I was so proud, and I said like I'm going to go for my job after immediately as I complete my BTech. But he did give me one advice at that time, which is he didn't. He didn't encourage me to go to do my job. Instead, what he said is, go do your MTech. Now, for obvious reasons, having two offers in your hand, I didn't listen to it. Instead, I just silently I replied to him, and then I came back. So obviously, I picked CSC. So I joined CSC in 2008 along with my batchmates, my friends. Even today, they are my closest. So we all basically joined CSC in 2008. Now we have never been to Hyderabad at that point in time. So all of us basically packed our things and then landed in Hyderabad, and then we joined CSC, and then couple of months finished in terms of training and whatnot, and then we were put into our respective projects. Now, when we landed in the project, basically what happens is essentially you will be assigned a mentor, right? Because you cannot simply handle the project on your own. There are a lot of processes that are in place that you need to get used to it. Now, so I was given a mentor, not just me, myself and one of my classmate as well. So both of us were on the same team. So we both were under him. Like the funny thing is, on day one on the project, basically he handed over us Java JVM specification and then asked us to master it. Now, even after like 16 years of experience, I have no idea what a JVM specification is. I know what it is, but I have never ever gone into the details of a JVM specification, right? So JVM specification is basically used for creating Java virtual machine, implementing Java virtual machine. Now, the point that I wanted to highlight here is when you are joining companies, essentially you will come across people who are who almost appear as if they are like amazingly well trained or amazingly superior than you. But the irony is that's not the case. So as time progresses, obviously we cannot master JVM specification, right? So we just learned some basics of Java essentially, and then we kept it aside and then we moved on with the project. Now, many of my friends and batchmates got placed into multiple projects, but I got into some ASP project. It's not ASP.NET, it's ASP. It's before .NET, it's an age-old thing. And some of us are placed in COBOL. The reason why some of us are placed in COBOL is because CSC being a service-based company, I don't know whether you guys know what a service-based company is. Basically, they bid projects from external countries like be it US, Australia, or whatnot, or maybe internally within India. They bid projects and they get projects from outsiders essentially. Now you work on those projects. As a company, you will not create any products. Like if Microsoft creates products by themselves, NVIDIA creates products by themselves, like Swiggy creates products by themselves, right? They don't do any servicing stuff. But all of this CSC, Wipro, TCS, all of them are service-based companies is what we call. So apparently CSC at that point in time was working for a insurance company. In fact, that insurance company is called Farmers Insurance in US. So we were, they are the client for CSC. Now, apparently, because insurance business is so old, most of their data is in COBOL mainframes. So some of our batchmates were put into that area. Now, the point is, again, when you join a company, you never know what you have been interviewed for and what project you will be ending up with. So to what Viswanath said in the beginning of the session, it's always good for you to actually have some set of what you want to work on, without which it becomes like one day you will be working on something and the other day you will be working on something else. I learned it the hard way because, like I said, I was given this ASP application, which I was handling it. And then slowly the work, some days I used to do some Excel copy paste sort of a thing, which is very, very horrible. So that's when what I felt was this is not the place where I wanted to be, even though I raised my collar when my professor called me. It took me a while for me to realize what the fact is, because everybody will be in the similar shoes. Like once you get into the corporate world, you basically bombarded with all these fancy things which you have to judge yourself whether it's useful to you or whether it will enhance your career or not. Unfortunately, it took me like 2 years for me to realize that. And then that's when I kind of made the decision to uh, uh, move to a different company. So that's what my decision was. I was so naive at that point in time that I didn't even know you can actually apply for a different company, and then once you get the offer from the second company, you can resign the first company. Right? I was thinking that you have to first resign the company that you're working with, and then you have to go apply for some other brand new company. So that uh, naive I was back then. So again, so what I did was like I picked up the books again, came back to the college mode, and then prepared for GATE. Now, I did reasonably well, but not, I think I got somewhere around 1,000 or something. So, but with that rank, I will not be able to get into IITs for sure. So IITs or NITs. But luckily, at that point, I have IIIT Hyderabad uh, has their own their own exam for MTech. So I applied for that and I got it. Now, trust me, once I landed in IIIT Hyderabad, that's when I felt that I'm almost nothing. Just because you are so good in your programming skills or whatnot in your college doesn't mean you're so good at everywhere. That's not the case. So the more you go up the ladder, the more you realize how much you know and how much you do not know. So it's sort of a realization for me. And then one of the good thing about the IIIT Hyderabad especially is like it will give you, it doesn't have this core structure like you have to go at 9 a.m. in the morning and then you have to come sit all the way to 5 p.m. in the evening. So they have this credit system. I don't know whether every college is implementing it, but they had that. So you pick certain courses and you go attend those classes. Now, the best part that happened with IIIT Hyderabad is it has got amazing culture, as in like the seniors, they basically uh, enforce these programming contests and whatnot, and they guide you essentially. So if you are in your final year BTech and if you are good at these skills, please try to somehow organize those sort of things to your juniors. That really helps them, and also that really basically uh, 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 programming is all about just keeping that fear aside and then learning stuff. As you learn, it becomes so much easier. So if you guys are good at it, just do this. So help your juniors to some way understand the concepts. Now, this is exactly what happened when I was in IIIT Hyderabad. Now, other good part about IIIT Hyderabad is it it does not let any service company to sit for uh, jobs. So for campus placements, they won't let any TCS, Wipro, or Infosys to come in. Just because they even if they come, like no student will attend. So that's the level at which the students' awareness is. So that itself is a revelation again for me. So I was like thinking, whatever company that comes in, I want to attend it. But it turned out that's not the case. You need to also raise your bar a little higher, right? So Microsoft came in, but I couldn't crack it, and eventually I landed in NVIDIA. So the reason why I'm just navigating this whole path is do not stop with BTech. If you can do MTech, go for MTech in good colleges. That will definitely help you and give you much broader options. Now, uh, NVIDIA, I joined NVIDIA in 2012. And then in 2012 to 2015, I was with NVIDIA. And the work I did or learned from NVIDIA, working in NVIDIA is like amazing. Like I was working back then, mobile phones were on their peak, like the smartphone industry was on its peak. So every company wanted to come up with their own mobile phone. So NVIDIA being a chip company, they wanted to have their own mobile processor and they want to beat Qualcomm. Unfortunately, they couldn't, so they gave up their entire business. But Tegra is the processor which I basically worked on, so used for bringing up mobile phones. Anyway, so that gave me I always had this interest in electronics, so that somehow helped me enhance in that space. Again, when I was doing this, there are a lot of other fields which are very in limelight, like the buzz of that time, like big data was one, Hadoop and whatnot. It was so crazy, but somehow I was not gravitated to it for good or bad. Focused on what I was interested in, and luckily NVIDIA was the place where I wanted to be, and those 3 years were amazing. And the reason why I moved from NVIDIA to Microsoft is for one thing, which is NVIDIA Hyderabad has basically NVIDIA is in Santa Clara, California, and unfortunately, NVIDIA Hyderabad, the site director would not allow anybody to basically relocate from Hyderabad to US. So that's when I kind of gave up and then moved to Microsoft. The other reason for me to move to Microsoft is I was also always interested in Windows. Unfortunately, I couldn't get into Windows division because Microsoft Hyderabad doesn't have Windows division. Back then, Azure was the division that Microsoft Hyderabad has. So that's what I was hired for. So I worked for Azure, a feature called live migration. So from 2015 to 2017, I worked there. And then in 2017, I basically tried to apply internally and get into Windows division. So because that was my passion all the way from my BTech, even before I joined CSC, even before I got my job offer, I was so interested in operating systems. So I landing a position in Windows team was a dream come true. So luckily, again, this is in Redmond, so I moved to Redmond. The point I'm trying to make here is you have to basically chase your identify a path which interests you a lot and then go chase it, not the other way around. So do not look at the technology or do not get boggled by the buzzwords. Especially these days, AI is like almost, if I'm not wrong, it's screwing up the entire education system because I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying the way it is being taught or the way it is being approached is not correct, because of which students are basically missing the basics, what they're supposed to know. Okay, so that's how I landed in 2017 in Redmond, and then ever since I have been here in Redmond. I have some more details that are going to come. So let me highlight what the situation is, right? This is one slide, which is what I called a surprise. So I want to compare what the job market was in 2008 versus 2021. Again, I'm comparing here the service-oriented companies, how they are, right? So let me give you a couple of minutes and if you guys can read it, just have a look at it. What you're seeing to the left is basically my offer letter from CSC in December 2007. So in 2008, I was offered 3,02,000 per annum. That was my salary. Now, back then, if I'm not wrong, this was the highest take-home pay of among all the companies that we got in Gayatri. I might be wrong, but again, this is what I heard from some friends back then. Anyway, so this is how much I was offered in 2008. Okay, now look at the right side. So this is again an offer letter of my nephew who got into a very good, amazing, very good, very well-known service-oriented company. I don't want to call the name, but this is in 2021. Now look at the salary that he's been offered, 3,25,000. Now, I don't know whether you guys observed, on top of that, he also have a 1 lakh service bond, which means if he quit the company within 2 years, he should repay 1 lakh to the company. Okay. The reason why I'm showing you this information is I want you people to understand where these service companies are. I'm sure you cannot even live properly with this package in any metropolitan city these days, right? Now, I'm not saying don't aim for these companies, because CSE is what helped me launch my career. But what I'm saying is use them as launch pads. Don't stay there longer. If you get into TCS, or if you get into Wipro, or if you get into Infosys, whatnot, just use them as launch pads. So stay there for as short as you can and then move out. Or even better, if you cannot, if you can aim for, let's say, MTech or MS, that's even better. Okay, this is about the story about service-oriented companies. This is almost like I'm comparing between, like, how many years? Like 13 years. Yeah. So just be aware of what you have been offered. Unfortunately, you cannot bargain here because your only chance to step in, but don't stick to it. Now, let me show you the next slide. Here I'm comparing service companies versus product-based companies, okay? Again, to the left, I have my CSE job offer. And then in 2012, when I joined my NVIDIA, look at how much I was offered. So this is the difference. I was offered 9 lakhs there, and compare both of them. Again, between 28 versus 2012. That is between a service-based and a product-based company. I don't know how much they offer today. I'm sure they will offer much more than this. But the point I'm trying to make here is this is like a day and night difference between you working for a service-based company versus working for a product-based company. So again, I totally understand it's not that easy to straight away get into a product-based company, because with a fresher background, you won't be able to get it. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you can get into a service-based company, stay there, stay short for shorter duration, and then jump to a different, much more bigger product-based company. And the challenge with product-based companies is you have to have a good degree. If you have a good degree, then you will easily able to get into these things. Okay. Again, just to give you some context to the previous slide, I was showing 2008, which is like almost like 16 years ago. Most of you people are basically probably in your UKG or maybe in your first standard, if I'm not wrong, right? But there is no change in the package if you go for a service-based company. Okay. Now, how do you achieve to a product-based company, right? That's what is more important rather than we comparing the packages here. Again, the intent is not about the money aspect. The intent is more about showcasing you how much difference we have in the pay scales between companies. Okay. Now, let me give you some advice here so that you guys can pick it and then maybe work on it. Like I said, to even Venkatesh sir's question, this basically answers it more appropriately, which is focus on coding. You don't have to be an amazing programmers or amazing coders. That's not what is required. In fact, I myself was not an amazing coder when I completed my BTech, because I learned a lot of this stuff when I actually joined into IIIT Hyderabad. So the point here is at least get your hands dirty. All it takes is a bit of patience and bit of hard work. You really don't have to compete. You don't have to participate in some lead code or code chef or whatnot. All you have to do is pick a decent C language book, and then just work out the problems or talk to a mentor or get help. Without you asking, nobody can help you. Even if you're in your final year of your BTech and if you think you don't know anything about coding, don't worry. All it takes is like 6 months or less than that. You need a decent, some discipline to master it. Again, you don't need to even master it. You just need to get comfortable with it, because not every lead code programmer is going to work in these companies, right? Like, people are developing because we have all the, in fact, I argue doing lead code programs doesn't even help you get good at becoming good in your software career. So lead code or any of those competitive programming skills, I kind of don't like it for the same reason, because there it's all about looking at a problem and writing the solution. But that's not how we develop software in corporate world. Even in Windows, we need a lot more skills. You don't need experts, or you don't need to be amazingly good at programming. What you need to good at is being able to learn skills quickly and being able to assemble them so that others can understand your code. It doesn't have to be complicated. Okay, that's what my focus is. You don't need to start with competitive programming. Just start with basic programming. I believe there is this Balaguruswamy or some author who which has like a very Indian author, which has like a decent book. Again, the reason I'm calling out C here is because it's such a simple language. Many people fantasize it, and they create as if it's very complicated, but that's not the case. You just need to learn the language, and because what C helps you is it teaches you how to how to write code, not how to use libraries. A funny thing is, like, many people who are very much good at .NET or Java or Python fail to come up with small for loops and things like that, because the fancier the technology becomes, the easier it becomes for you to use. Okay, so it's almost easier to write in Python, right? So it's the other day I was giving the same example, which is like, it's like learning to drive in a manual transmission car versus a fully autonomous self-driving car. With both the cars, you will be able to reach the destination, but manual transmission car is the one which you have to get into if you want to learn driving. Very similar to that. So spend some time there, talk to a mentor, or get some good mentorship. That way we never got a chance to participate in open source projects, but I would highly recommend you to participate in open source projects. You don't have to be, again, an amazing coder. You could have just fixed a small documentation bug, right? But the moment someone accepts your code, it becomes like a boost up for your own contributions. Immediately you start working on the next day, you want to contribute something to that project again, even though whether you understand the project or not. So always, whenever you have like peer encouragement, you tend to do more. So I've seen this with many other people. Basically, you need positive encouragement even at your even when you're not doing good in subjects. That will prove yourself. That will make you prove yourself, and then you will automatically improve yourself. Again, this is something even I wanted to practice, contributing to open source projects. Unfortunately, I'm not getting time to do that. But yeah, like I said, do not focus on technology too much, because technology come and go. .NET was at its peak when I was in my BTech. That's why I had to do my final year project in .NET. So again, but it's of no significance today. So don't focus too much on technology. Focus on how to write programs, how to write code. It's basically the language that the software industry speaks, right? So if you know basic programming, that is all you need to get good at. Again, I just want to add something to this competitive programming thing. This is helpful, but this should not be your first step. The first step should be your basic coding skills. Okay. Once you master this, then pick this competitive thing, because these days, whenever you apply for any product-based companies, all they look at is your algorithms, data structure skills. So you definitely need this aspect as well, but start here. Okay. And yeah. The other thing, as I called out in the beginning of the meeting, is get off of this AI ML bandwagon. I don't know how many people gets hurt when I say this, but that's the truth. These days, what is actually happening is everybody picks up a Python, and then they use these, what do you say, the vision APIs or whatnot. And then I'm not saying it's not bad. The problem is you're basically missing much lower details, which is absolutely needed in order to get good at, right? So uh, uh, if you are already good at these basic coding skills and whatnot, then definitely go with whatever you feel like with AI and ML. I'm not saying don't do that, but thing is, there are much more fundamental things than AI ML that you have to master as part of your BTech curriculum, without which the funny thing is, the other day I was looking at Microsoft internal job career portal. Somebody was asking me for a referral, so I was looking at it. Now, I hardly find any AI ML jobs posted in Microsoft, be it external or internal internal careers website. There are some, but not majority of them are AI ML. So with what that tells you is AI ML is really turning out to be the next biggest thing. In fact, it is the biggest thing these days. But as a beginner, you don't have to know that stuff, and nobody is expecting you to know that stuff. What they're expecting, even Microsoft or any other bigger companies who are offering jobs for freshers, they're not expecting you to become amazingly good at AI and ML. What they are looking at is they want you to know fundamental computer science concepts. You need to know what a memory is, right? You need to know how to use for loops, right? You need to know how to use functions, the most basic stuff, right? So again, just be very careful when you're picking up these things. Don't hang on to the buzzwords that you hear every day in and day out. Unfortunately, that's the case. So again, this is where mentors are really needed to guide you and put you on a right path. And this is another thing which I kind of observed and almost completely blown away, which is many of you are also got connected to me via LinkedIn, right? So I was looking at your feed. Before I started this session, I was not so active in LinkedIn, but because you guys got connected, I was also looking at your profiles on LinkedIn. So something which I was observing very peculiar is most of you are posting these 1 month internships, 2 months internships, and stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying, I'm not discouraging you to do internships, but make sure those internships teach you something. Okay. It's not like you pay something to get a job there, and then you do some assigned tasks and then get a certificate. That will not help you. If you really learn by doing that exercises, then it's good. I'm not pointing at that, but what I'm pointing at is be very careful when applying for these jobs. In fact, what blew me away is I don't remember the name of the consultancy company, but have been seeing the company name. It's called CodeSoft. I've been seeing the name CodeSoft in many of your LinkedIn titles. Something like they put a tag and then at the end they put it as like CodeSoft. So what they're actually doing is they're basically exploiting you to uh, 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 get recognized, right? So don't fall for those things. So be very careful when you're basically looking at those things. All you need is basically have confidence in yourself, and then learn the basics that I have just called out. And again, do not stop at your BTech. If you can go for MTech, and if you can go for MS as well. Again, I do not know what the right path for MS. I have no experience in that, but doing MS or MTech, one thing which I have to mention though is it has to be a good college. It doesn't make any sense if you do an MS or MTech in some random college, because that doesn't help you. The eventual goal is for you to jump or improve your career or move higher the ladder. And this will definitely change your life. At least that's what happened to me. So or if possible, do that. And then lastly, ignore service-based companies if you can, because they almost ruin your career. As in, like, if you can come out of those companies within 2 years, that's good. If you cannot, then you will be almost stuck there, because you don't improve yourself, and you won't get opportunities elsewhere. So many of my friends actually are almost, some of them are still stuck there. So they're really good. They are very smart. But the problem is, once you get into that attitude and once you get into those circumstances, it's very hard to come out. So, like I said, just use them as launch pads. Do not stick there. Yeah, I think that's all I have. And one thing which I wanted to show you, just to give you guys uh, some more perspective, which is, let me show you something which is sort of slightly personal, but I wanted to share it anyway. Hope you guys can see the screen. So this is basically last Sunday, I was taking my daughter to a skiing class. So while we were going there, uh, the place is called Snoqualmie Falls. It's a place where people learn skiing, and the driveway is like this. So by the way, this is in Washington. So she's my daughter. She's just started learning skiing. Um, Again, the reason why I'm showing you all this is because I want to highlight one thing. When I quit my CSE job, I didn't know that I'll get to experience these kind of things. But basically, somehow I kind of followed what interests me. And then by God's grace, I kind of ended up here. So it's all about you figuring out um, among all the options you have, and then talk to as many people as you can so that you get guidance. Nobody know everything, so it's okay to ask questions. It's okay to um wanted to say something. Yeah. So this is back home, way back home. Yeah, it's an amazing place, by the way. So, so what I'm saying is, the next 10 years of your career is going to completely shape you for the rest of your life. So choose it wisely, and the time that you are in right now, the 4-year BTech period that you are in right now, is the most, the least responsible time of your life. So you don't need to look after anybody. You don't have any responsibilities essentially. So make use of that time as much as you can. That will basically shape your career for the life. Okay. Uh, Hope this is really helpful and informational to you. These are the references. Uh, I Feel free to contact me in any way you want. I'm more than happy to help you. Again, I cannot uh, uh, promise any jobs or anything like that, but I can do my part by maybe forwarding some referrals and things like that. Feel free to send out your resumes and send out your resumes, and also send me the job IDs that you feel appropriate for your profile, so that I can just refer it in my Microsoft portal. So yeah, I cannot guarantee any jobs, but always feel free to reach out to me for anything that you wanted to know or wanted to learn. And again, I want to call out a big shout out to Ed Groom for organizing this entire series, and also Murli Krishna sir for actually facilitating this, and then organizing this, as in like encouraging all the students to attend these sessions. Okay. That's all from my side. I'll stop it here, and then take any questions if you guys have.
Yeah. Vinil, I'll share a few things.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see your success story. And I still remember, I think, Vishwanath, are you there? Okay. So when he completed his BTech, he got a job in Kenexa. At that time, it was then Rishwanda, right? That
Right.
was recently it was started, and that fellow got around 24,000 something salary. And we, as a family, we're all excited that he got a very good job. 24,000 is a good one in that time, right?
Right.
So we all force him to join the job, okay?
Mhm.
Because we don't know the value of the higher studies.
Correct.
Then all of a sudden he changed his mind. He don't want to do what you call as a job,
Correct.
because some teachers suggest him that he has to do MTech.
Yeah.
See, that is the main difference between you and that guy. Okay.
Yeah.
But later
Yeah.
you realize the importance of the teachers, because see, as a teacher, I know, Vinil, the
Yeah.
problem is they don't realize it. Okay. They don't realize the importance of teachers' words.
Right.
Only when you have some glitches here and there, you
Mhm.
understand. Not only teacher, our parents, our friends, our brothers, sisters say, we
Yeah.
don't put a ear there. We once we face the problem,
Mhm.
then they realize, oh, we missed that on this, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
if you just give me a minute, I just want to show a video in continuation to your what called as motivation that can you make me, I think,
Host.
yeah, host again.
Um,
It's in one beautiful video. I think you might have seen it made by Ukla. Can I share the screen? Let me see. No. Again, what you do is you just click at my name. There will be three dots you
yeah.
find, right?
Yeah. I'm making you as host. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So guys, just take just 2 minutes time. And I just wanted to share. Then we'll end the question. I think you can see the screen, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, when let me. Are you getting the sound?
Yeah, I'm getting the sound, but not the video sound.
You're not getting the sound?
Yeah, I'm getting the sound, but not the video. If you're playing a
Yeah.
video, I'm.
Oh, I'm okay. I'm just sharing again. I'm sharing the screen again. Can you see the Sukla squirrels?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay. Are you able to hear the sound?
I tried to do handstands for you. I tried to do headstands for you. Every time I fell on you, yeah. Every time I fell, I tried to do handstands for you. But every time I fell for you, I'm permanently black and blue. Permanently blue for you. I tried to do handstands for you. I tried to do headstands for you. Every time I fell on you, yeah. Every time I fell, I tried to do handstands for you. But every time I fell for you, I'm permanently black and blue. Permanently blue for you. For you. So black and blue for you.
I grabbed some frozen strawberries so I could ice your bruising knees. But frozen things, they all unfreeze, and now I taste like all those frozen strawberries I used to chill your bruising knees. Hot July ain't good to me. I'm pink and black and blue.
I got bruises on my knees for you and grass stains on my knees for you. Got holes in my new jeans for you. Got pink and black and blue. Got bruises on my knees for you and grass stains on my knees for you. Got holes in my new jeans for you. Got pink and black and blue for you. For you. So black and blue for you.
I'll stop it there. What I'm trying to say from this video, Vineel, is the students are like squirrels, right? The parents who are on the top of it, they want to pull them up, but they
Yes.
need a support, right? So Edgum is the person who bought the bags. The mentors are like the bags, okay? The student, if they really wanted to jump out of the wall, they want to succeed, really, they need mentors, as you are mentioning all the time. So that's
Yeah.
what I want to say from the video. So what is your feedback on that, Vineel?
Yeah, I think this basically aptly summarizes what I have said essentially.
Yeah, that's why I'm waiting for the video. Yeah, guys. So we need some feedback on the session. Kartikeya, can you take over?
Guys, I think you all have my number as well, so feel free to reach out to me in any way or form you feel like. Again, this is not the end of the, even though this is the end of the sessions, but feel free to get in touch. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Vishwanath, are you there? Okay. So shall we close this session, Vineel?
Yeah, I think if nobody has any questions, then we can close it, sir. I think. Yeah.
See, students, this is a wonderful opportunity. Please, if you have anything to talk, at least say thank you. Convey your wish. Thanks. Can somebody
Probably
raise their
they will update in the feedback form maybe.
Yeah, please.
Sir, a very good morning. Actually, the session was so interesting. It was so glad having met this. And the basic question that I wanted to ask is, what made you to take these many sessions for us?
Yeah, because I have gone through exactly the same kind of steps and wasted a lot of hours. I didn't have a proper mentor, firstly. So I want every one of you to not repeat the same mistakes that I did. So that's the primary motivation. And especially I'm so frustrated by the amount of false propaganda is happening with respect to the technologies or with respect to the job opportunities, with respect to whatnot, whatever you see or getting experienced with social media or through every channel is almost like it's not, there is very less truth to it. So I wanted to basically get in touch with you folks and then really help you understand what's the other side of the world is. Yeah, that's the main motivation.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Joshna, go ahead. Joshna, go ahead.
It means a lot for giving us your time, because basically this is the stage like where we are getting fall into like social media platforms like LinkedIn. And, we are getting so much confused between this competitive programming and getting stuck of just completing the task for the just 1 month or 2 month internship. And this session has taught us so much than we expected, sir. It means a lot.
Glad it helped you. Like I said, yeah, feel free to get in touch again. Yeah, hopefully I haven't painted it anything bad with respect to competitive programming. My point is basically there are much important things for you to master to land into a proper job.
Yeah, we want to hear more from you guys because this is the one way to pay back to Vineel. Yeah, please feel free to talk. The medium is not a problem. You can talk in Telugu also. That's not a problem. Anyone who want to share your feedback? Boys, I didn't hear any boy. Kiran. Yeah, Karthikeya, go ahead.
Sir, thanks for this session, sir. And you worked a lot, sir. Not even paid course mentors do this much, sir.
I think let's not, you don't have, there are no formalities. You can just call me Vineel. You don't need to add that sir to the end of my name. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If this is helpful, I'm more than happy.
Yeah, definitely, Karthikeya. What you said is 100%. To the people who do the things for money, they're different. That will be artificial things will be there. But what Vineel spoke is he said his experience, right? And very few people can do that. And one thing, Vineel, I do agree with you because 2 months back, a bunch of students approached me. They wanted a short internship. And all of them are doing AI/ML. This is a common word they're using, AI and ML, right? So I asked them, who motivated you to join this course? 80% of them said that we don't have an idea about it, sir. One of my brothers said, my dad said, they are simply influenced by other people's opinions. They don't know exactly what is AI, what is ML. They don't do any research also. Because just because it is very popular, just like watching a movie by looking at reviews, just simply taking the courses. And so as you said rightly, go ahead.
So my litmus test for not just AI/ML, but for any technology in general, if you see any coaching centers that are teaching it, right? Like if you see AI/ML or Android or iOS getting taught in some basic coaching centers, that means you have to pay least attention to it. That's
Oh.
my litmus test.
Oh.
So it's all about people making money with that, but not what the market or what the companies really need. Like I gave you guys an example, like hardly any job opportunities actually have AI ML in them by and large, and you really do not need AI ML knowledge as a fresher, especially. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, Vinil, that's 100%. Even this one also told me the same thing. If you look at a company, the number of people working at data science are very less when compared to other people. Okay.
Right.
But if you look at this number of friends opting for computer science and this AI/ML are many number of times in other courses. And unfortunately, recently one of my students called me. He studied his BTech computer science in Amrita. Okay. And after spending so much money there, that fellow called me and said, sir, I want to know what is the difference between Bioton Savatsla and Ampere Circuitla, something he asked me. I was surprised why he's asking that question. He said that, sir, I didn't get any placements at the campus and I have some time. I want to prepare for GATE exam next year. So meanwhile, I joined in a school as a teacher. Okay. So I was really shocked after studying in such a college by spending so much of money after investing 4 years of valuable time. Why you want to work as a school teacher? Okay. So this is the main thing. The students are thinking that once we complete BTech, what called as with computer science, we get campus placement, the life we can build on that. But the reality is different. Okay. So then they are in a crossroad, they're thinking what to do next. Like, if you want to go to MTech, they need to study all the syllabus. If they want to get into MS, it's a very expensive thing. Now I have my student, because as a physics teacher, I know many of my students are at the crossroads. And unfortunately, in India, because I work in a company, this in 12th class, most of the jails they are working are BTech graduates. It was very unfortunate. See,
Yeah.
after seeing all the why we started this EdGroom is the main purpose of this. This is not maybe money is the byproduct of our work, but we started it not to earn money out of it. I can earn money in different ways, but there is a lot of false things are going propagating by the people, and students are becoming prey to it. And some of the parents do not have an idea about it. Just because somebody went to US, all people cannot go to US. So there is a one myth many student people are facing. So once again we thank you, Vinil, for coming forward to educate people, because this is the real education the students need. And thank you so much. We need our services in the coming sessions also.
Sure, sir. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone. Especially, I also thank Murali Krishna sir and Viswanath for their hard work.
Definitely.
Karthikeya, and also you for behind the scenes person who actually helped create the sessions and all. Yeah.
All the posters. Yeah, Karthika. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for all of you. Please watch the video leisurely again and again. It's a what to call it as a library for you. All the 6 sessions that was given by Vineel. I hope definitely help you all. Thank you so much for joining for today's session.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Vineel. Once again, have a nice day.
Yeah, you too, sir.
Okay, bye.